Hi friends, my name is Vandita Shivle and thank you for joining me on my channel, which is the Mutual Fund Eye. Today I'm going to take this question that I have been receiving from a lot of viewers and of course investors. The question is on the new SEBI circular, right, which came the last week, and the questions are around how will that impact the market and the investors, right? So first things first, let's understand what the SEBI circular was about. So like we all know that mutual funds have lot of categories, right? One of the category that mutual fund has is multi-cap category, and this particular circular that SEBI has come up with and the directive that SEBI has given to the mutual fund industry is around this particular category, which is multi-cap category. They want to really make the reallocation in the multi-cap category more transparent. So you need to understand first what is the category. For people who do not understand the multi-cap category, it is a category where the fund manager invests across all the market caps, right? There are large cap companies, there are small cap companies, there are mid cap companies. Now in the descending order, if we look at the market capitalization, then the first 200, right, in the descending order, the largest first, then the smaller one, in that order, first 200 is in the other large cap companies in terms of market capitalization. Then from 101 to 250th is the mid cap one, other mid cap companies. It is again according to the descending order of the market caps, right? And then is the small cap. From the 250 first onwards are the small cap companies. That's how they are listed, and this is again the SEBI categorization of large, mid and small cap companies. Multi-cap invests across, ideally should invest across all three categories. Now what happens is, as an investor, if I want to invest in all these three companies, right, then either I have to take a large cap fund, mid cap fund, or a small cap fund, or what I could do was I could invest in multi-cap category and get the benefits of this kind of diversification that should ideally be there. But what was happening was SEBI realized that the allocation was not done in a proper manner. Now, as of now, I mean, before the circular came, the only restriction that the multi-cap category had on itself was that 65% needed to be invested in equities. But there was no bifurcation in that. So what was happening was the fund manager was allocating more in large cap, mid cap or small cap is the choice of the fund manager, right? There was no bifurcation or there was no rule in particular to that. But now with the new SEBI circular, firstly, the 65% has changed to 75%. Now all these mutual fund AMCs, the fund manager, when they are creating a multi-cap category fund, if I am a fund manager, I have to create a multi-cap fund, then first thing is that 75% I need to invest in equities. That's the first rule, okay? Second rule that is there, even in that 75% category, 25%, 25%, 25%. There has to be further bifurcation. 25% in large cap companies, another 25 in mid cap, another 25 in small cap. So now it is a very, very clear order, clear directive from SEBI that this has to be followed. In case the fund house or the multi-cap categories, the categories that we as an investors have invested in, does not follow this rule, SEBI has given them time as of Jan 2021, the next year, and the first month of the next year. They have told the fund houses to work on this thing and really, really follow this directive. Now, a lot of fund managers could also say that, we are talking in air and SEBI is just saying things. But there are, clearly if we, there are proof, there is a proof where fund managers have been doing such things. So if we look at the top AUMs, right, if you look at the top funds in this category, which were Kotak Standard Multicap, we all know that it's a flagship fund of Kotak Fund House, Kotak AMC. You have Motilal Multicap 35, you have ABSL Multicap Fund, UTI Multicap Fund, SBI Magnum Multicap Fund. So now these are the top 5 according to the AUM size, right? If you look at the assets under management, these are having the largest size. If we look at their bifurcation, these are basically so-called multi-cap funds. So ideally, as an investor, I would think that they're investing equally or maybe little in large and mid, and at least some part in small cap. That's the mindset of a normal investor who wants to invest in multi-cap category. But if you look at their bifurcation, let's talk about Kotak Standard Multi-Cap first. 72% they are doing in large cap. 28% they are doing in mid cap, 0% in small cap category. Let's talk about Motilal Oswal 35 fund. Again, 86% in large cap, 9% in mid cap, 5% in small cap. ABSL again, 67% in large cap, 25% in mid cap, 7% in small cap. UTI multi-cap fund, 65% in large cap, 30% in mid cap, 5% in small cap. SBI Magnum multi-cap fund, 74% in large cap, 18% in mid cap, 7% in small cap. So now you tell me, is it a multi-cap fund? No. These are, and in fact, Motilal Oswal 35, 86% in large cap. The criteria for large cap is that 80% should be in large cap category. In large cap companies. So ideally it's a large cap fund, a large cap category fund, but they have given it a name of a multi cap category, right? So in order to make this more transparent, SEBI has come up with this. Now we need to understand that why the fund managers did this. That question might arise. The problem is that there is also one directive that one fund house, like if I'm talking about Kotak AMC, they cannot have more than one fund in each category. So large cap, if they're having one fund, they cannot, really have another large cap fund, right? So that's the criteria. And because of that, they were investing, to make it more safer for the investors. Even when we say multi-cap category, they were doing such kind of a thing. But now I'm really happy to see this move. Now you would say why I'm happy, because yes, there would be certain ups and downs in the market by this move. At least today we didn't see that, because there has to be rebalancing done before Jan 2021. So of course there would be a rebalancing wherein there would be certain sell-off from the large cap from the large cap companies to the small cap companies and mid cap companies. So either there would be rebalancing, or these fund houses would be doing certain merging, right? Like they could either convert. So for example, Motilal Oswal, now it's a clear large cap fund. They could convert this multi cap to a large cap category, so there won't be much of sell off. It's already a large cap category. Either they could do that, but since there's a rule that there could be only one there could be only one fund in each category, so they might be merging certain funds. So that is very common in mutual fund industry. So I don't see a large impact in the market. Yes, if we look at the calculation, then you might see that around 33, I was doing my calculation, where is the page? Okay, I think I missed that page. Okay, yeah, here it is. So I did my calculation, and what I noticed was that around 33,000 crore, right? There would be, that would be sold off from the large cap companies. And then we would see inflows of around 29,306 crore rupees in the small cap industries. So yes, that would be the kind of thing that you would see. But if you look at the larger picture of the AUM, 33,000 crore sell off from the large cap companies sounds like huge, but I don't think it's a very, very big thing for the mutual fund industry. They would easily manage it. There would be around 4,300 crore of inflows in the mid cap sector, because on an average the calculations have been done. So already these multi cap categories, they're having 73% of allocation in large cap companies, 22% in mid cap companies, and only 5% in small cap companies. So then they should not be calling it as multi-cap fund. They can call it as a large and mid-cap fund, or they could call it as a large cap if 80% of the allocation is in large cap companies, right? So I think it's a good move, and as an investor you should be happy that there is a body which is governing these industry. And this is the best part about the mutual fund industry. And you might think why I am so fond of this sector. This is the reason, the kind of transparency you don't see that in any other financial instrument. It's everything is very closed, but when you talk about mutual fund industry, everything is open. If there are any disclosures about certain companies, the company has been taking off money, putting the money somewhere, anything, slightest move is in the newspaper. So that's the kind of transparency level that we are talking about, and that's why I also emphasize on this fact that mutual fund mein investment sahi hai. And I think you should call it as a welcoming move to ensure that the compliance is met. SEBI has come up with these moves, and I hope that what I have explained to you has really given you certain idea of what kind of move SEBI has come up with, right? And what the circular, it's basically reallocation of the mid-cap assets. I would try to sum it up. Reallocation of the multi-cap category, reallocation of the multi-cap category, where the fund houses, when it comes to multi-cap category, 75% of the investment has to be done in equities, and out of that 75%, they further bifurcated it: 25% in large cap, 25% in mid cap, another 25% in small cap. It is a must. So we will see a lot of sell-off from the large cap companies, because we have seen, according to the data and the facts, the top 5 AMCs, when we say Kotak, SBI, UTI, ABSL, and Motilal, they have major allocation in the large cap companies. So we will see certain sell-off that will move the market little bit, but everything would stabilize over time, right? And I think that's clear. Let's move on to the next question that I have actually not answered in a right manner in my previous session. That's what Bharat wrote to me. So yes, Bharat, your question was around, can you stop the SIP and redeem later, and how would that impact the NAV? Which NAV would it be, would they be taking it up in case you stop your SIP? So yes, firstly, you can stop your SIP. Nobody can stop you. You have to really tell them that you need to close your account and you can stop your SIP. Yes, you can do that. Secondly, in case you want to redeem your money, you have to give a redemption request for that, investors. And once you give a redemption request, only that day NAVs would be calculated when you are redeeming your money. It doesn't matter when you stop your NAV. It's when you stop your SIP, it's okay. The NAV of the day when you are redeeming it, when you have requested for redemption, would matter. Okay, so that answers your this question. Apart from that, I would still say that SIP, take it as a very good tool, investors. Lot of people think that it is just for giving less money, because you pay less, you don't pay in lump sum, so it's a good thing. No, SIP can be used as a very good medium when you want to put your money, right? When you see that if you see that the markets are not doing well, you have an option of even pausing the SIP. Thanks again, Bharat, for bringing that thing up. Yes, there is an option of pausing the SIP. In case you don't want to stop the SIP, you can pause your SIP for 1 to 3 months. At least up to 3 months you can pause your SIP if you think that the funds are not doing well, or if you have certain financial crisis and you can do it better in the future. See, always remember, wait for at least 18 months. I would say if 1 year the fund has not doing well, wait. It could be certain market conditions, there could be certain issues. Wait for at least 18 months before you stop your SIP. I have never stopped my SIP. Firstly, I select my funds in a very, very right manner. I believe the fund manager when I choose my fund. I really work on it in a very diligent manner. But once I've taken an SIP, I could actually pause my SIP for a certain period, but I would never stop my SIP. I don't think that's the right time, and especially stopping your SIP when the markets are down. That's a very, very wrong move. So I don't believe in that. You have an online facility available for stopping your SIP. You can just call up the AMC. You can tell the fund house or the bank with which you have your demat account associated with. You can do that, and even if you have your mutual fund account online, you can do it on an online manner by stopping your SIP. I think within 1 month you can your request is being taken and you can stop your SIP, so that is not a problem. But the issue is that use your SIP in a diligent way. Use it for timing the things at the right time. Some people say it's very difficult to time the market with SIP, but if you are doing it in a very calculative manner, you'll actually see that you'll benefit. And there has been records that people who have been consistent in the SIP, Crystal has come up with that. People who are consistent with their SIP over 5 years have got better returns than a lump sum investor. Yes, it would differ from time to time because it depends, right? When you invest via SIP, there's a NAV at which, and some people do it in an automated manner. So if I say that every 10th of the month the money will get deducted from my account, so now it depends on that day NAV. If the NAVs are high, you will get lesser units. If the NAV is lower, you can end up getting more units. But that gets average out. You get the average out benefits from that. That's what I say, rupee cost averaging. When you buy in dips and when the markets are high. So I think Bharat, that would have answered your question. I didn't explain it in a deep manner because already the video is getting longer. If you don't understand it, I can take it up again, okay? But thank you viewers for sending me your queries and writing to me. Please, you can tell me in the comment section also if you have any questions regarding anything related to mutual fund industry or the financial sector. Apart from that, do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the like button, okay? And thank you again.